Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to episode 6 of this Let's Play, Europa Universalis IV. This is the March of the Vikings. In the last episode, we fought the war against Ratos and managed to add a whole bunch of territory to our vassal here in Chordas, which we are now 23% of the way through annexing. We also took this one province away from them. However, it has resulted in a coalition forming against us. Thankfully, we do have some pretty strong allies, so I'm still fairly confident about beating them off, as long as they all join. So, with Shura in particular, I am trying to keep them very sweet indeed. And in fact, we're not even raising relations with them right now. We should probably do that. Though your relations are already pretty high. Let's just double check my other allies. Your Nummerland is actually the lowest. Let's raise relations with Nummerland for a time, and that should do. Sindas no longer Ratas, Vain Gomengard, Fatabagaland, Austavik. So lots of the Indians are rivaling the Norse. Royal marriage with them? Yep, sure. So I think basically what we're going to do is essentially wait for the annexation to be completed, and also just allowing some of the aggressive expansion to die down. So to that end, I think every time we hit 500 ducats, well, 600 really, we're going to start spending money and building more buildings and things. The nobility during this period still record the days when the king was just the first among many nobles. The nobility wanted to return to these days and would frequently pressure the king to regain certain lost rights and privileges. You gain loyalty and increased autonomy for 10 years. Or I lose the stability. I'd rather not lose the stability right now. So very well, we will cave to your demands this one time. We are still... Right, we are converting the last place, which is the Maldives. And we're not actually far off from getting the third idea. We're ahead of time in everything, although maybe we want to wait because we're only at plus 30. The administrative ideas of Glod. Combined with a strong moral compass, Glod has always had a sense for order. Decisions made by him are trusted decisions, be it about political issues or during friendly conversation. The prince consort speaks his mind eloquently, something that awarded him some admiration even during his early days in Fatabagaland. Most importantly, however, the words of the prince consort may carry a truthfulness to them, a matter making even the most stubborn members of the court heed any advice offered from him. Gain admin. Sweet. Okay, so maybe we can afford to do this. Reduces the inflation, which I do believe we increased, but most importantly gives us more missionary strength and culture conversion. And also, yeah, yearly inflation. Awesome. Alright, cool. I am happy with that. We're still earning a lot of money. Our army manpower is now rising. Garwal truce has ended. How long until our Ratos truce ends? That's going to be somewhat longer, I think. Yeah, 84. That's still got another 8 years to run. So that's fine. Oh, National Bank pays dividends. Sweet. Several shrewd loans have led to very good profits at our National Bank. The bank is hiking its dividend and buying back some of its shares, which is good because we had to bail them out once already. So, awesome. And that has actually raised me high enough. Mordred is a new heir, he should be called, and I was properly reminded that all of my heirs should be Mordred. And thus, he is Mordred. Thankfully, my current heir is Mordred. Oh, that was him, right. Never mind. Missionary is very nearly done, seeing as we are now actually 5% over. Oh, right, because our consort is no longer from here. That was the consort of the previous ruler. As both influential landowners and the traditional warrior class in our state, the nobility have not fared well lately. Through a combination of excessive infighting and poorly coordinated power plays, the nobility have lost influence in Surat, and many have retired to their properties in the countryside. Aww. And there we go, we have the Maldives. We are now at 100% religious unity. Excellent. And we have 8% missionary strength. Blimey. So we're going to be converting this stuff very quickly. We just need to finish annexing it. I'm going to say manpower reserves need to recover. Although having a grand fleet would also be nice, but having more than 20 heavies, that would be rather expensive, unfortunately. I can still draft ships for war. No, resist the temptation. Resist it. Right, buildings actually only cost 80. More temples? More barracks? I think I kind of want the temples just so we continue to earn such nice rates of return, which we can then invest in building barracks and stuff. How strong is our economy compared to others? At this stage, we are still 5th. In fact, I have a feeling that Australasia has overtaken us, which is unacceptable. Manas is trying to claim some territories. What's their AE now? 66. Still has another 5 years, 6 years to burn off. Price of copper has increased. That does not affect me in the slightest, although there is a bit of copper here. No, we are mostly spices. We want the price of spice to go up. And actually another thing that we could consider doing, we need Diplotech 14 to get the trade company. Because once we get some of these going, we're going to be making absolute bank, and that'll be amazing. Prestige is still pretty good. How is the Liberty Desire? Oh, it's down to 1. That is perfectly fine. And we can go up in Miltech. We're going to wait for a time. However, we can now build another temple. Huzzah. Let's go with the plus 0.17. And these are definitely going to be giving us a very good return. I'm happy with that. We're up to 13 ducats a month now, profit. Recall that diplomat, and I want to start him with Shura again, just to make sure that Shura stays cozy, although you are at war with people, which isn't great. But we're keeping a lot of money aside in case we need to raise mercenaries. Now, having been raising so many cavalry, I think it's time that we got another man-at-arms, so let's drop one of those over there. Seeing as we are at our force limit, or we were under it rather. Alright, cool. So we do need to kind of think about where we want to go next. I'm somewhat tempted to go over towards Aden. No, I think we want to try and take some of this coast going towards Bengal, because then we can force money to go forwards to our own node, which is here. Shura has been increased. Excellent. You could do with some improvement. And all of our diplomats are currently active. Truce with Sind has expired. In fact, taking some more of this wouldn't be too bad either. Peasants are always superstitious, and the appearance of a comet in the sky has caused panic among our people. They are convinced that this is a sign that the end of times is near, or that something bad is going to happen in the near future. If only we had common sense. Irritating, but not the end of the world. Oh, we have money to spend. Spend it quick. I would say plus 15. You're still too low autonomy. So are you. I think I'm just going to go ahead and build 2 of them right now. Still leaves us over 500. Excellent. And we're about to get another temple done anyway. Cool. We're still up on plus 12. We're making a lot of money. In fact, our army maintenance can be dropped. We don't need it. We have fully reinforced already. 28 unit force limit. That is pretty decent. Where is the Shura army? And our general has just died. That is unfortunate. Actually, speaking of Shura, one thing I would like to do with you, if at all possible, is share maps. Which you're only going to do because you're allied to my rival and we're on hard. Will any of these guys do it? No. No. Actually, how far off were you? Mostly because you're neutral. If I increase relations with you, then you could become friendly, and then you'd probably do it. Let's try that. Improve relations once the diplomat's back. There we go. And what is my manpower max nowadays? 25,000. So we definitely need to try and improve you. We're on the verge of getting another temple. Although at this stage, building the temples, it does not provide any return. Mostly because of the poor autonomy. And we have the poor autonomy reduction too, so that's not going to increase at all quickly. What about workshops? Ah, yes, we should totally be building workshops. That's a plus 30 right there. Thankfully, we're going to be investing a lot of development in these places, so we're going to have a lot of building potential too. So that's good. When is the building cheap? Oh, we've already got that. But we also have a idea here that makes buildings cheaper. Not until Mordred's monument towards the end. Alright, so that's not going to happen until probably about 1600s. I would assume. I'm going to say that we can build another one. Another workshop. That's a plus 18 up there. Oh, there's 24 here. We'll build there. And how is the coalition? 57. They're getting close to the stage where they'll start leaving, although I then still have to burn it down before we can go any further with anything. Let's have a look how the rest of the world is doing. The Vikings are losing territory. Oh no, they've reclaimed it. They're currently fighting the Talabrids. They must have had rebels or something over there. Finland seems to be losing land, but are in turn... Oh no, that's Lithuania, taking Holmgard. Konigard doesn't seem to have grown. Edessa is attacking Taurika. And they've lost their North African provinces. Ecumenical Patriarchate is expanding. Navarre is still alive. England is spread, taking out some of Finland, I think. So Finland's having a pretty poor game right now. Norway has consolidated their hold on the outside of Norway. Saxony is still in Nelmendal. Trondelag. Sweden have annexed their vassals. In fact, so is England. In fact, England doesn't have a coastal way in. Usually they do. I think Norway's taken it. So these two could well be lost to rebels if they ever fire. Gotland still alive. Glad to see that. Denmark still doing its thing. How much money is Denmark making? Because it's going to be pretty high. Yeah. 18 ducats. Not bad for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, they're actually fairly large. I'm kind of surprised it's not more than that in that case. Because Denmark should have an absolute monopoly on the Lübeck region. A renowned minstrel recently crossed our nation's borders. His intentions is to roam the country, bringing joy to all those who hear him. Yes, I will take the free stability. Thank you very much. Yeah, Denmark. 47% ownership of this node. Not many people are pushing into Lübeck, though. That's the downside for them. Genoa seems to be the richest, 21. By quite a long way, actually. And considering there's no Venice, it means the Venice node is also very poor. 17 for English Channel isn't too bad. 12 for Lübeck. How much is ours? 11, 5, 2, 4. But this is going to grow dramatically. Improve relations with Puri. Okay, good stuff. Now, have you become friendly? No. So you're still not going to share your maps? Nope. Disappointed! I think at this stage we're going to save the admin. We're going to go up in military tech, which is going to give us new artillery. Although we're not actually building any artillery at the moment, so that doesn't really matter particularly. Oh, that is in fact the first artillery. I thought it was... They changed the names of these. Culver and Padero, I know those were. Small... Yeah, I thought it was like large cast, small cast bronze. I guess I'm wrong. You have morale resistance. We don't currently have anything which increases morale, so I'd actually rather have the Hufnis at this point. Because I believe that also increases the morale resistance of the infantry in front of them. We could invest in interest per annum, but we have no loans, so... Somewhat irrelevant at the moment. Actually, speaking of those types of things, Maldives. I don't really need a fort active here right now. Thank you. 50% of the way towards getting Chorda, which is good. Manus has been trying to spy on us. Not good. Let's improve relations with Vatabagaland. Improve relations. There we are. Right, I have a bunch of money to spend because I've been totally ignoring that. Let's get some more production in. One there. One there. One here. New royal marriage. Very well. I accept. How are we doing now? Production income's only 5.5, taxation's 11, which is pretty decent, and trade 9. Has trade gone down? I have a feeling it's gone down. Have we built any trade buildings? Not many. That's part of the problem. We can definitely get more control if we build more of these. Which we will do once we can afford that. Sure, that's 55%. We're getting there, slowly but surely. So I'd quite like to go to after Ratus again, but I also feel like we should go after Sindas and Manas to try and get more of a control over this area. You're allied with Andra and Shura. That's not going to be particularly helpful. Gauda, Vengi, Cholkias, Bars and Kasala. I think a fight against Manas is more likely. Let's go with... Actually, we could afford better advisors. Do we really need to at the moment, though? I would say probably not. Not until we have at least this. So let's keep the money coming. We'll get the fort defense. Oh, Prince Consort as a scholar. Nice. Ah, yes, of course. The diplomatic reputation, which actually helps us in annexing the country, because it means that we are spending more Diplo points on this. In fact, it's the Diplo reputation 3 points. Base +2, Diplo 1. No, I think it just happens faster. Yearly corruption for 10 years. That is unfortunate, but that should get immediately offset by the rooting up the positive stability and also the technologies once we get there. Clergy losing power. They lose 10 influence. What a shame. Nobility is still rather loyal. Can we call on you for anything else? Not really. We could ask the merchant guilds for contribution. 10 loyalty, that would still be safe. Let's do that. And then we can convert that into more buildings. More production or more trade? That is the question. I think at this stage we're going to go with trade. We're just going to spam trade everywhere. 169, 154, 139. Cool. Lots of buildings going on at once. That makes me very happy. Right, what's my production income like now? 6.2. We are losing a bit of money now thanks to the rooting out corruption. How long until we can get these? In fact, how expensive are they? 32% because we don't have the Renaissance. We should probably check to see where the Renaissance is right now. Lose 50 Diplo or lose Prestige. I'll take the Prestige because I get that back fairly soon. We have no Renaissance growing in our area at all. And in fact, it's spreading pretty slowly. How come you're getting it? There is something which I can do, I think, to get the Renaissance. Hold up. Let me double check the spread. Development at least 10. Any owned province have the province modifier birthplace of the Renaissance. Surat is on the continent of Asia plus... Yeah, the owned province is not on the continent of Asia. I think is what that means. Euros at least 1500, so another 18 years and then we get the 0.23 pretty much everywhere. Adjacent province, no. Any owned province? No. Yeah, I think it's because we're not on the Asian continent. Let me see what the continents are, according to the game. Apparently not. I think, yeah, this is the continent. So we are in Asia. It's just that they're not. Which is why it's spreading to these. Though why did Taurika get... Oh, because Taurika had an adjacency to them. Yeah, I think that's what it is, because there is a way of doing it. If you have high enough development, then you can start spreading it. But this place does have at least 10, at least 20 development, so it should be getting that. But it's not on the right continent, so it's not. I believe is the problem. What's my spread modifier? Part of a state, port, coastal, peace, and positive stability. Coastal centres of trades with ports are apparently very good for spread speed. Cool. Well, we're not that far off of getting Diplo 7 at least. And then after that we probably need to dial it back a bit. I do wish it was spreading a little faster. 18 years. No, we're definitely going to need to go up to the next tech, but after that I think I'm just going to start investing our points into development after then. Okay, Harte Bageland's done. Halstavik is basically on permanent relation increase duties. Let's go and improve with Shura again. Seems like the best option. And we can build some more buildings. We were doing just trade. 160, 175. Oh, there's a 210. 295. Probably should have got those first. In fact, you know what? Suck it up. We'll do that. And this should quite dramatically increase my trade hold here. From my provincial ownership. Which is going to translate into more money. So our neighbours are definitely rattling their sabres a little bit, but not daring to attack us. In fact, aggressive expansion is below 50. You should be leaving that coalition now, guys. All of you. In fact, the only one that could now attack me is Ratos. Manpower reserves need to recover. National unrest and tax modifier. And there we go. Coalition war, even though they're below the threshold. That's not fair. And sure, I did join. Yes, all of my allies are in. We have actually roughly equal numbers in this particular conflict. So we are going to raise those guys. You are going to... no, not you. Where are the warships? Battleships. Right, they're in the Maldives. You're going to get ready for a battle. We're going to merge up. I think now we need to be careful that we don't just get taken apart because we are separated. Unfortunately, I have less money going into this war than I was hoping for, having just gone on a bit of a spending spree. I can't believe they got a coalition attack, even though they are now under the aggressive expansion limit by 5. Gah. Let's move up. And I think, thankfully, we are Miltech 7. They are Miltech 6, both of them. And yes, I am going to spend some military tech points. Getting some really good commanders, apparently. Awesome. Alright, let's put you over here. And you here. Do we want an admiral? Are we going to need one? I'm not sure we are. No, we're going to have a much bigger navy than they are. Alright, we're on speed 3. You guys are moving up. I think we just need to start occupying things. And getting this show on the road. And watching out for enemy fleets. No, okay, yeah, you are indeed fighting over there. You have 16,000 men up here. You are conquering that. Oh, hello. There's a big army. We can now recall from Shura. So instead what I want to do at this juncture is send both of my diplomats back home. And then start getting spy network with these two nations. And the reason for that is that we increase our siege ability against them. The more spy network you have, the faster sieges go. And we're going to try and keep fairly close to each other down here. We'll let the allies do most of the fighting if we can. What's their CB? So it's just a punitive war, so it shows superiority. So the more battles we win, the better. Let's head up to Vijayanagara. So who are we actually fighting? Probably a pretty good question. Oh, we're fighting them, so we can actually keep them off just by using our ships. Interesting. Yeah, it's everything in the middle against everything on the outside. We're not against Andro or Bars, though. Gauda, Kusala, these two, but not Ratus. Ratus truce hadn't finished. And we are in fact blockading this, which means that those 11,000 cannot get to us, which is lovely. And I will be adding my own navy to that once they've had a bit of a chance to repair. Around 55%. Are either of you any good at sieging? You have 1, you have 0. So we're doing that the right way around. Good, and we can get new technologies. Please make that happen, so I'm not having to pay for the corruption reduction. Which we're not. And we're making a pretty big profit, actually, which would allow us to bring in a lot of mercenaries. Now, we've been building a lot of buildings. No, we still have got 28 force limit. Okay. Pretty big army on the move over there. We've taken Vigianga. I think we're just going to sit here and wait for these guys to come and engage something. We're going to wait until you're blocked in, because we're going to have the defensive bonus, and we're going to move in here. Don't leave. Like, we got this, we got this. You're fine. We hugely outnumber them, 32,000 against 25. We have the better commander, I would say. 4-3 versus a 0-1. We have the technology advantage, we have a tactics advantage, they have a discipline advantage. We have way more cavalry, though. And thanks to Furto Buggerland, it means that we have enough infantry to support. And that is how you can see the difference the cavalry makes. Cavalry at this era of the game just demolish enemies. Alright, let's move you back up to Rauka Doab. Let's move you back to Vigianga. Oh no, actually, let's go and... oh, we can't get there. Never mind, we'll stay here. Sorry, Namaland, we can't get to you in time. But it looks like you do have some allies coming in. You're doing a bit of damage. Are you going to reinforce? You're moving up here. No, you're not. You're running. And some additional reinforcements came in. Who was that? Shura. Yes, Shura! Get in. We beat Kassala. Excellent. Battles are definitely going in our favour right now. We gain free naval tradition. Very nice. We have sufficient manpower that I'm not going to bother hiring mercenaries just yet. We're going to finish off these sieges. Thankfully, most of our armies are down here in the south, and we are actually occupying a fair amount of land, which is good. And in fact, on that note, I think I'm going to call it here. So thank you very much for watching. If you're enjoying this so far, then please do hit that like button. If you haven't done so already, then do consider subscribing. And if you have any tips or advice for me, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.